Batman Caped Crusader. If you're unaware what Batman Caped Crusader is, it is a show that was supposed to release on Max but ended up being cut and bought by Amazon because of things that need to be cut over at Warner Brothers. They were ditching some projects. This new Batman show where the original workers on Batman the Animated Series, I believe like Tim Burton, and I know Matt Reeves is on the project, and a few of those guys who've worked on the Batman the Animated Series show back when I was growing up, or rather when my older brother was growing up. I kind of grew up with that wacky Batman show that came out more of the 2000s because I'm a 2000s kid. But I digress. Batman Caped Crusader is basically everything that the creators of Batman the Animated Series want to do but couldn't because it was a kid's show. So it's going to be a very dark show. And if you haven't seen the leaked pictures of it, it's very eminent. With these leaked pictures that, and I'll put them up here, right? I'll put a few of them up here so you can see that, it's going to be a pretty different type of show. And that is really imminent as we look here with Harley Quinn. Tim Burton was said, he was the co-creator of Harley Quinn. And he's looking forward to shifting Harley Quinn from being just the Joker's girlfriend to more of her own character. She is now Asian, so Harley Quinn is now Asian in this show. But besides that, she is also kind of a fun, quirky psychologist who then, when she dons the persona of Harley Quinn, becomes frightening. Now, I'm going to go over my opinion of this before we talk about the other things that we saw. I don't hate it. I know some people are angry about it. I've seen some people angry about it because like, you're changing the fundamental of Harley Quinn. She has this dynamic with the Joker, and I get it. There's a reason it gets a pass for me, a few reasons. Reason number one, this is the co-creator of Harley Quinn, so if anyone's allowed to change Harley Quinn and allowed to change her typical character dynamics, it's the guy that created her, number one. Number two, I think it's a change for the better. I agree with the fact that Harley Quinn has just kind of felt like the Joker's girlfriend and doesn't really have her own character. So I kind of can appreciate an approach to where we're making her taken seriously. Now, if this is going to be a replacement for the Joker, I really don't think they'll do this, and I hope to God they don't do this. If this is going to be a replacement for the Joker, and the Joker's not going to make an appearance, and we're switching Batman's main protagonist of the Joker to Harley Quinn, then I'll have issues with it. But for now, it seems like Harley Quinn's just, maybe she'll meet up with the Joker at some point, and we'll see how that turns out. But I like the idea of taking Harley Quinn and making her this scary persona. I like the idea of a more serious route to Batman's villains, including Harley Quinn. I know you got to have some lighthearted ones here and there, but I like the idea of making Harley Quinn a frightening character. I really do. I think there's a lot of room to play around with, and I think if there's anyone that has the right to do it, it's the creator of the show. Now, the show itself seems to be, or has been stated to take place in the 1940s, which is interesting. And I don't know how I feel about that. I like it on certain levels. I like the fact that we're going to this kind of nitty-gritty time period. The animation style looks pretty dang great. I like the way the animation of the 40s looks. I just don't know how well adapted it's going to fit into modern times. I don't know how well adapted people are going to be able to turning their brains of the modern world off in order to relate to and fit into this world of the 40s. Here's what I like about it. In a digital age where technology would solve a lot of Batman's problems or even make it kind of virtually impossible for him to have a secret identity in the first place, the 40s period kind of takes away from that. It takes that away. And it gives us this thing to where smartphones don't exist. A lot of modern technologies don't exist. So with that, you can get this very crime-esque drama cartoon, kind of like the Batman, if you see it, Matt Reeves is the Batman movie, but you take away this element of technology into it, meaning that Batman is probably going to have access, because Bruce Wayne's a billionaire, right? He's going to have the highest quality of technology for that time, or some fantastical technologies, not fantastical in the sense of like flying cars, but like fantastical technologies of that time because he's Batman. That I like. That I can get behind. And the art style of this animation, I really get behind. I really, 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 really get behind the art style here. And we take a look at the bat suit itself. I rock with it. And I don't think this is going to be his only suit. I think this is obviously very early in his career, and we're going back to those first issues of Detective Comics when Batman was first introduced. I really like that. So I do not think this is going to be his only suit. I think his suit will grow as the series progresses. I don't know if they even will do a season 2 or anything like that, but I do not think it'll be his only suit. But I like it. I like it a lot, actually, as a callback to original Batman. And I love the long pointy ears. This is a Batman here that you can kind of be afraid of. I like that suit. It looks like just the classic Batman suit, and I can really, really, really appreciate it. So we have this next picture here, besides Batman, right, and Harley Quinn. The next one I want to go over here is Clayface. I'm 100% down with it. If this is the Clayface, the Golden Age Clayface here that we're going with, I am 100% down with it, and I'll tell you why. Clayface as a big clay monster, while it's cool and while I think it was adapted in Batman the Animated Series perfectly, and I mean perfectly, if you haven't watched Batman the Animated Series, by the way, go watch it. The show is a classic. Kevin Conroy, rest in peace. Perfect Batman. But, man, there's something about a Golden Age serial killer Clayface with a scary mask that walks around killing people to do murder mysteries that I just think is so detective noir-esque of Batman. You see, that's more of an interesting Clayface for me. The monster guy, yeah, it was cool, it was adapted cool, but man, there's just something really cool about having Batman go up against a serial killer. And one with like a scary mask at that, who calls himself the Clayface, right? Maybe he's cutting people's faces off, like in the Golden Age, right? Maybe I sound a little screwed up for saying this, but I dig that. I don't actually dig someone going around cutting people's faces off, but I dig a kind of more sinister, monstrous, scary version of Clayface. Again, going back to like the Harley Quinn thing, like a scarier version versus the actor that wants to portray other people to be the best actor in the world. I just think when you go from a dark, when you think of Batman, you think of dark, right? Approach, it vibes with me, and I like it. Another thing I like is the Catwoman costume. We're going very Golden Age 40. Again, you keep using that word Golden Age, right? Of Catwoman here. You see that picture of Selena Kyle, Bruce Wayne. Good stuff. I like it. You know, I don't have much to comment on these. It's this classic Catwoman here. Bruce Wayne, he looks like Bruce Wayne. I dig it. I dig the animation style. Selena Kyle looks like Selena Kyle. I am excited for this show. And I really think that this show is going to prosper because of the fact that kind of like the handcuffs are off, right? This is going to be more of an adult style show, which I like. Even by like the original art, if you look up the original Batman Caped Crusader, like the announcement with the like the pilots or the whole show art, right? The first art that was ever released for it. It looks very detective noir, very Gotham-like. And I believe that we're going to get a show that kind of almost like The Batman by Matt Reeves felt like the Arkham games. To where we're not dealing with this like childish type of stuff in Batman. It's going to feel like the gloves are off and we can tell like a real adult Batman story through animation and through the form of a show. Which, I mean, the video games are some of the best Batman stories I've ever seen or played through in this case, right? So I'm excited to kind of not have to play with a controller, right? I get to just sit my butt down and watch that unfold. I'm very excited. So that's my 2 cents on Batman Caped Crusader here.